there, this is Lego Bands and you are welcome. I am Opeyemi. If this is your first time seeing us, it's good to see you too. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you very much. On today's episode, we are going to be talking about something that's quite trendy, and it's all about these internet money lending, digital money lending, online apps that are lending money to people. On today's show, I have with me two important and two brilliant, prestigious people. I have beside me here is an accountant. I have a legal practitioner with me. She's going to be telling us the legal aspect of it. So please, can you introduce yourself?
I'm Michael, like she earlier said.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Itunuoluwa Hawalu. I'm your legal person here, and we'll be doing this together.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so on the internet, so for a while now, I've seen several videos of, or online posts of people that they lend money from maybe an online app. Then the app starts, the owners of the app start bullying them. They come to social media to write articles about them that this person has HIV/AIDS, contribute money for them because the person is sick. They just do all sorts of things, all with the aid and the intention to get back their own money from whoever they've lent the money to, who has absconded. So guys, what do you think about this? Is it right? Is it proper that a loan app, because you owe them money now, if you didn't pay, they start cyberbullying you, writing things about you, calling your family members and friends and threatening them just because they want to collect whatsoever has been owed?
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely wrong, right? It's wrong, but we have also seen it become a norm in our society. So let's just take it from the beginning, right? Two people have come into a contract. They have come into a relationship. One has said, I have a company, I have a loan hub, or I have a loan business, I'm willing to loan you money. The other person has said, okay, I accept, I want to loan money. And this person has said, okay, this is my rates, this is my terms and conditions. The other person has accepted, and then they have entered into a contract, and that contract is binding. Now, what we have come to realize is that many of these loan apps, digital lending platforms, as part of their terms and conditions, they state that they need access to your contacts, they ask you for your ID card, they ask you for your picture, and then they go ahead, upon defaulting, they go ahead to send different kind of messages. As much as some of them don't state categorically in their privacy policy or their terms and conditions that when you default, this is the route we are going to go. We are going to say you are a fraudulent person, we are going to say this, we are going to do that. Some of them even state that to say they are going to reach out to all of your contacts. And people accept, right? So when you accept that they should reach out to your contacts, reaching out for them, it's vague, right? So it covers whatever it is they do at the end of the day. So I feel people who consented to some of these terms are in a way at fault. And what the law has done is what we have been able to do in Nigeria is that we now have a body, which is the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Regulation Commission now, that they, in order to streamline and cut down on all of these issues of loan apps, sending messages, terrible messages, obituaries, different kind of posters about defaulters, defaming them, causing their families trauma and pain. What that commission has done is to now bring up new regulations to regulate how digital lending is carried out. Now they have regulations that guide them naturally. You have, even the constitution provides that you have right to privacy, right to private and family life. So that covers your privacy, it covers your data. We have the Data Protection Act as well that covers everyone's data, how your data is being used, regardless of whether it is out there or not. Your data should be protected and it should be used in the right way, right? And you can sue for defamation in the event that someone puts an information out there that is wrong about you. But when a loan app gives you money and you refuse to pay and they call you a fraudulent person, it's true.
Yeah.
Because you have shown that in a way you are fraudulent. So you can't come back and sue them that they have defamed you or anything. Now where they go to the extreme, right, that is when you can now probably go and report to the police and say they are defaming you and all of that. But from the beginning, most people consent to this, and you cannot consent to something and come back and say you are no longer a part of it.
So
Alright.
like,
Okay,
I like you to tell
so
us the
nice one.
financial
So it
aspect.
is called digital lending.
Yes.
And all these apps are out there for everybody to on the internet. When you go there, you see stuffs like you want to borrow so amount of money. So my own take is that because it is a digital platform, everybody is able to see it, and I want to say to the lenders who are the digital platforms who gives this amount of money to also make sure that when they give this money, they do there should be a kind of easy documentation. Do you understand? So after getting them to onboard, when they onboard them, and later on, and when you find somebody defaulting, there is a way. I think it only applies to these digital lenders with the experiences you've said, that you see them posting people's name, contacting them, and all that. I think probably it's their own system. So if you go to the commercial banks, for example, it is not, they don't go that route. So I want to say that for the digital lenders, they should emphasize, they should look that these things will surely happen. For example, so myself, I've gotten SMS of people who I don't even know.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, sorry, if you don't pay for so person, we're gonna sue you. And the only thing that will be happening is we'll be sorry for ourselves. We'll be like, are you okay? Are you bad? So they should learn in a better way of trying to communicate their customers. You telling them that if you don't pay, we will come, and that it doesn't pay you the money. And again, they should also look at this amount of money they are even lending out to individuals. For example, 10,000 naira, 40,000 naira. Is that why we are going the other way around? So it's not normal. So my only take is that they should just try to be a bit easy on people they lend little amount of money to. It is not 50, it is not 5 million naira. Sure, you get.
And one way I'll actually like say on this is, for example, by the time you start, you agree to loan money to someone, and you're asking them to like have a guarantor, someone that can stand in. I feel most of those money lenders, those digital money lenders, they don't involve the guarantors.
They don't do that.
Like the guarantor should also be aware that somebody is actually using me as a guarantor for so amount of money. Now they don't involve the guarantors. They don't involve just the only person that knows. Then on long run, they now start packing everybody.
I mentioned something like that earlier. For example, somebody used me as a guarantor. I'm not aware. It is for the digital people, for the digital lenders. It is time for them to really think very deeply.
Like maybe they should come up with a better
option instead of them just attacking somebody unknown to them before and be like, come, so person of yours have borrowed certain amount of money.
I would actually say it's a good idea that there are opportunities for people to loan money, because there are times that people need urgent money, right? Let's say someone is in an hospital and you really want money sharp. So it's a good. It's good, but we are Nigerians. We know the way our people can.
So they made it easier to get the money.
But to now pay back
is crazy.
And I think the major challenge is measures, right? So I mentioned earlier that we have this SCCPC Act now that are now bringing about regulations to caution or stop loan apps defaming people, social shaming them in a way that now part of their privacy policy, because part of the legal compliance that digital lending companies have to do, aside their CAC and the money lending license that they will get, is that they get approval from SCCPC. Now this approval, they will go through all of their documentation, the approvals that they've gotten. They will also go through their privacy policy to see that what is it like, because they are asking you are saying that you're going to get people's data, so they want to look at what you want to use the data to do. So because they also understand that most people don't even read this privacy policy and terms and conditions, so they go through all of this to see that it covers everything and it protects the consumers, it protects the users in a way that you can't come out and start posting their picture and doing all of these things. And they can also impose sanctions as well. What they have not done is to provide like a standard procedure that digital lenders can use in getting back their funds from defaulters. You mentioned commercial banks, right? If you try to get a loan from your bank, even though they will tell you loan is available, if you try to get, they will check your credit worthiness. They will check if you have if you work with if you are a civil servant, or if your employer is the type that they can they are registered with, or they can work
business with.
So they have all of these things set down. Sometimes you take a loan, right? Even for some of these loan apps, some of the loans that they take, because some of them also work with commercial banks, for them to be able to work within the legal compliances that they have, or legal documentation that they want to do right now. So they work with commercial, hand in hand with commercial banks, and the legal coverage that commercial bank has covers them as well. So instead of doing registration with CBN, doing with all of these other major regulatory bodies, they just do the little ones that cover just the money lending alone, while they partner with other banks.
Actually, I agree with you, because if you notice some of these apps or companies that do buy now, pay later, like you pay gradually, if they will actually ask you if you are employed, and you have to provide your employment letter. If you are not employed, they are not going to render their services to you. So I just feel all these digital money lenders too, if they can involve the employers of people that they are loaning money to, so they ask you to bring your employment letter, they can even go as far as coming to check where you work, to be certain.
Absolutely, that's what I wanted to add, that due diligence is also key in this age of technology, and everybody is forging anything now. Anybody can draft employment letter and so go and give any business owner and say this is where I work. So if you have such documentation and you don't follow up to ensure that the details I have are actually right. So if you say you give me a guarantor form and I fill the form, I've returned it, you didn't have any conversation with my guarantor to ascertain that this person is alive. So you just collect documents and you just put them, and when it's time for you to get your money back, you can't find this person, then you start running around harassing people and saying you are the guarantor, I have your signature, I have your... What if you didn't involve the person right from the beginning, for you have said? So what they need is a standard procedure whereby they can actually get their money back. Instead of, there was a time that, was it OPay that was trending then or something? There was one company that was trending, that they go house to house, they were knocking and picking people up. It was funny, but it goes to show that they were frustrated to that point where they felt, okay, let's come to your house, let's come and pick something. And if you look at the money, they are always small amount of money. Another thing that I also feel they can do is that, at the point of, I mentioned credit worthiness of a person, right? So if the banks will look to say, are you even someone worth borrowing money? So if you want to run a company, you want to start digital money lending, you want to look at this person's credit history. There's a way you work with some companies that they can help you to check this person's credit history to see if this person has borrowed money from different apps. There's no need shortchanging yourself or shooting yourself in the leg by saying I don't want to spend so much money. Do the right things from the beginning, so that at the end of the day you can sit back, relax. But if you don't check their credit history and you just give them money, there's a tendency that they won't pay back if the person has been a chronic defaulter from before. Also, they can put in place that when they want to give out money, there's a limit to what you can borrow, right? So they can say that you can only borrow 10,000 as a first timer until you repay. They want to watch how you repay before they can increase the money you can borrow. If you give somebody access to 100,000, they don't pay back, it's a lot of money for a company to lose. How much profit are they making?
They are more or less like operating like a small microfinance.
And microfinance is big, so they are not even up to microfinance.
No, like I'm not saying at the big level. You know this a job people like bring that their job that we actually give.
So I think people should also not be in a hurry to get money from these sources, this loan, all these bank apps, or what do they call the people that give loans. So people should try and go through the terms and conditions, because I discovered that with the way it's going now on the internet and everywhere, I discovered that these lenders, I think they go outside what is even on the terms and conditions. Sometimes it is not even time to do some repayment or something like that.
Yes, and they start coming at you.
coming after you, and you be like, wait, you just have to relax. I need to get something before you can get your money.
Yeah. So part of what the FCCPC has also done is to give a longer period for repayment, right? So now you can't even ask for repayment of loan under 60 days. So it has to be between 60 days to 180 days. So you cannot give, if you are giving 10,000, it should be after 60 days before you are expecting. And they also watch your interest rates too as well. So they monitor all of these things now, aside the sanction. So the era of sending messages has really, died down to a great extent. And some people borrow from this app to pay back loan on this app. Borrow from this app to pay back on this app. If you don't need the money, why borrow?
Another thing is, I think they need to work on their interest rates. I see that their interest rate is so little, and that is why it is drawing a lot of default. That's why at the end of the day, people will default in paying back.
And I'll also say that, like, they should have something that they themselves can fall back on, so that they don't get frustrated. You are lending out money. As a business person, you shouldn't just be lending, even though you are not sure people you are giving the money will pay back. So maybe when you lend, you pause, you expect to get back, then you follow
before you continue.
So they should have something, a concrete plan to also fall back on, because as even insurance companies too, they have insurance in case something happens. Okay, and I also like us to talk about their compliance. Like, do they just do someone just wake up one money, create an app and be like, okay, I want to start collecting, because sometimes it's like, are these people even serious? They don't look like they are doing serious business.
Okay, so to the best of my knowledge, right, it's a whole lot of legal compliance, right, a whole lot of processes to follow when you want to, as much as you look at these apps and you be like, it's just a loan app, it's just a loan. Some of these apps are from bigger companies. Like, you have banks also have their own apps as well, and you have companies that they just want to do strictly money lending and they have apps, right? So the basis of it all is the fact that they have to register with the Corporate Affairs Commission. So, and your minimum share capital is between 20 million shares to 25 million shares. Unlike other companies that you can just do 1 million share capital for a company, but for a money lending, for financial listing, the minimum is 20 million share capital. Now, outside the CAC registration, they also have money lending license that they have to get for each state. For Lagos State now, you have the money lenders act that covers the operation of money lenders in Lagos State. So they have to obtain that license. And to get the money lenders license is a whole lot of stress, especially in Nigeria, right? It's a whole lot of processes. They will go to police station to get fingerprints of directors, because they are also conscious of the fact that these people can take money and run away, right? They can perpetrate different kind of fraud. So everyone is careful, and all of these legal compliances are necessary. Now, when we now look at, does anyone even monitor? Of course they do, they monitor, and that is why they also carry out inspections in the course of granting them the license. They inspect to see that this is your office, these are your directors, these are the people that will be in charge of this company. Aside that as well, you have the Data Protection Act that protects even the data of consumers that are being collected, right? So, and the FCCPC is also there to just ensure that they protect your data as they collect it. Even Google itself, and on Play Store, on App Store, you will see that measures are put in place in regard to the kind of apps that are being installed and what the app does, and they also take them through different processes. They also have to do different documentations to ensure that they even have an application, a mobile application up. So you can't just wake up and say you want to have an application and you just get someone to do it and you just put it there. No, you also have to do a lot of documentation. So it's not beans, it's not small stuff, right? Running a money lending company.
Okay, so I'll just say that for the people who like fall victim of, you lend money, unfortunately you can't pay back. First of all, I know that with your good mind and your good conscience, you should actually pay back, right? But since you have now found yourself in a situation where you are now a victim of cyberbullying, threats, harassment and all sorts, you also have you can also approach the law and get redress.
Yeah.
Yes.
Before you even get to the point where you are being bullied, where you are being harassed, where they are
Just
sending
pay back.
messages to your contacts and all, if you don't have the money and you can always reach out. I can remember someone called earlier and she was like, she doesn't have the money they are saying, because they will tell you, they don't just wake up and start sending messages. They would have warned you severally, they would have informed you that if you don't pay by this time, we will do this, we will do that. Sometimes when that time, that deadline will come, they won't do anything. They will still give you room to see that maybe, hopefully, you will get the money. But we've seen that people are just nonchalant. People will just be like, you can't come and catch me in my house, right?
I don't think that comes into the ways of these money lenders. They have, I said that, I don't know if you've seen some of their chats before or their messages. These people are not friendly.
What I'm saying is, before it gets to the point where they
tell them that sorry, I lost my job or something.
Some of them have offices, right? So I can sit. I mean, you borrow money day to day. You even borrow. You can borrow your friend money, and if the person won't pay back, and you'll be the one calling this person, pay back my money. That's your friend or your colleague, right? There's no contract. There's no nothing. Now imagine a company that doesn't even know you and has maybe 100, 1,000 people who are defaulting. The least you can do, I mean, this woman was practically telling me she doesn't know what to do. She can't go and call them. You know their office. Why not go there? Like she said, she has sent them message, but they don't believe her. It's possible for them not to believe you because they've been hearing those stories, different stories. My mother died, my daddy died.
That's my job.
Yes, and people are just, and it's a company. They have to keep running, right? But if you approach them, if there is an office, you can approach them. Banks have account officers. If you have issues with your account, you can always approach your account officers and they will guide you as to what to do and what not to do.
Just to be safe, even if you need money so bad and you know you cannot deal with the whole stress of being, like them coming at you. Even let's say you borrow money today and they say by the end of next month to pay back the money, and it's still middle of next month, they're already coming at you for the money. If you know that's the way they operate, it's just better you find other means of getting the money. And if you have been bullied, threatened and all, you can also go to the police station, because cyberbullying is actually a criminal offense. You should go to the police, get your redress, for you to stay away from wahala and pay them back. On this note, we are going to be bringing the show to an end. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this episode, because we did right here. We hope to see you next time. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe, be a part of our family, and don't forget to hit the notification bell button so that you will receive notification when I should put out the content on this channel. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.